I have a hard time focusing on the music even because my goodness, that was one of the longest. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Stoked to be here today. I hope you're doing well. I actually want to apologize to all the Dimash fans out there. It took me a little while to get this. It took me a little while to get to this one, but I heard your requests. I got about 1 million in the comments. So I'm really stoked to take a look at the story of One Sky today. And I did read the lyrics beforehand to kind of get an idea of what the idea and the purpose and the meaning of this song is. And it looks really meaningful. So I'm sure they came up with a video that's equally meaningful. In case you're new here, my name is Manon the Reeper. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a writer-director. I've shot short films, I've also written a couple of features. I'm working on my first one and bringing the first one to life, which I hope to tell you a little bit more about soon. And I'm also writing a graphic novel series. So get ready for an analysis from a filmmaker's perspective of Dimash's One Sky. It's a long one, it's well over 13 minutes. So grab a drink, settle back, and let's get into it. Wow. What an intense opening. Before we get into this song, let me just kind of talk about some of the things that we've seen here so far. It's really beautiful, very soft, really beautifully shot. Wow. Some highlights here. Let's take a look. Obviously, the shot that it opens on is so stunning with the boy drowning and sinking. It looks very all-encompassing. You know, like it's grave and just, yeah. And then thankfully his friend grabs him. It's a great shot. It's very hard to shoot underwater, by the way. So it's very cool that they were able to do that. And then we go to the beach and we have this beautiful segment where they save the little boy. And this here was shot in a very shallow depth of field. So everything is looking really soft in the background and they're looking very sharp here in the foreground, which really brings all the attention to their faces. And they also shot it in slow motion. So the movement is a little bit more fluid and a little dreamlike. Great moment here where he finally comes to life. It's the color grading here is beautiful. Everything is looking very crisp and all of the colors look very real, yet there's still a sort of dreamy quality to it, which I think is because they shot it in such a shallow depth of field. So it's just beautiful. And then this here all shot in handheld, which makes it feel really more playful compared to the more dreamy shots that we had before that were a lot more fluid and slow moving. And then also wanted to point out the sound design here is great. It sounds like it was really constructed after they shot it. It doesn't. It sounds like it was constructed in post, and so we don't really hear any wind. We don't hear maybe streets in the distance. So they must have really put a lot of effort into creating the sounds afterwards. So your post sound designer usually is the one involved with that. And they may or may not use sounds from set. But for instance, we have this moment where he really thunks the case onto the beach, which really sounds like it sounds heavier than it would have been in reality, probably. And so this is but not too much. Sometimes sound design can be overdone a little bit, but it still fits within what we're seeing. And so it's really beautiful, really, really stunning. So great work on that. And again, just the color grading looks really great. It's quite saturated, just very pretty looking.
Can't believe what's happening at all. Piper's crazy, we reborn to fall. We are the reason we're causing all that pain, to the secret one that gave us life. Billions of hearts, billions of cells and souls and dreams, billions of lives shouldn't ever turn to senseless horror, so disenheartened.
As a ruler, my task is to keep order and protect my country. But I don't deprive you of your freedom. The world is open for me, and I want to give it to you.
Whoa. Oh, that just took a really wild turn that I did not expect. My goodness. Okay, let's just go through the first minute. Like the minute that we just watched, and then we can and then we should probably take a look at what's happening in this. I'm a little flabbergasted. That's crazy, because we have this really dreamy soft world with the kids that are, playing and giving each other these beautiful necklaces, and then it becomes clear that the symbol that they're giving to each other is from this kind of what looks to be some sort of oppressive government type situation, military, whatever. I am shook. Just overall, the whole opening sequence is so beautiful, and then his voice comes in and he starts singing, and it's really mellow. And I wonder, with now the building visuals, if he's going to be singing more intensely as well, because I found that Dimash is so intentional with having the vocals meet the visuals. These kids are also doing such a great job with the performance. It can be really hard directing kids. I've done it myself in a short film of mine, and it can be quite hard to get a natural performance out of them, especially if they're not experienced actors. So sometimes they have that complete lack of self-awareness that adults have. They won't feel as awkward or uncomfortable as that we as adults might be, but they could also be the complete opposite, where they are completely self-aware and super shy. And to kind of get them out of that shell can be really hard. And that was kind of the case a little bit with my short film, although thankfully the actress that was playing his mom, she was so wonderful and really helped me a lot in making him feel a lot more comfortable. And so it can be quite hard, especially if you're working with people, little children who aren't trained professionals, but they're feeling incredibly natural. So perhaps they are, trained little actors, which is amazing. So wonderful. Really enjoyed their part on the beach. And I'm completely intrigued by how we all of a sudden switched to this war setting. So, and this is something that I've noticed in general. There's some beautiful focus pulls here. So that means that, you start on a blurry image and then the focus gets racked to something in the foreground or in the background. There was a moment where they pulled focus from one kid to another kid that was in the foreground. Really beautiful. And they're doing the same thing here where we transition to this different setup and they rack focus onto this symbol, whatever it is. Let me show you.
As a ruler, my task is to...
So that went from the close-up in his hand to the other guy's hand, and then it softly pulls focus to this symbol on his arm patch. So quite a shift, but a beautiful transition into this darker scene. And then it just goes completely bonkers here. Some very interesting shots, very different color grade. They took out a lot of color. It's far more cool toned here, less romantic. We don't really have that bubbly bokeh in the background, where it's fuzzy and you see the little circles. We don't really see that here. It's more just plain fuzzy, big contrasts here too. I really like that only half of his face is lit. So there's a light coming from the right side where we only really see this part of his face. He looks very almost doll-like. His face has a little bit of a waxy texture to it almost, which gives a little bit, again, of a dreamlike but sort of unreal, creepy vibe. It's very cool. Very cool. So he narrates, and then we go to this, which, oh my goodness. And that was a wild transition, man. I did not see that coming at all. Wow. So, yeah, let's see what's going to happen next, because I am curious with a capital C.
Is it possible to say? So when all the words and Bibles falling, we decide to stop the draining. We decide to follow their light.
Wow.
Love is possible only in the hearts of the strongest. You must be strong to accept freedom and bring it to the world. United, we will enter every city, every house. We will lead everyone who is ready to start a new life. Anyone who resists will not find a place next to us. War.
I have a hard time focusing on the music even, because my goodness, that was one of the longest... I am shocked. That was one of the longest single takes that I've ever seen in a music video, especially with such choreography and all the action happening. And whoa! I mean, the music is there, but at this point, it feels more like a film score than, the other way around, where this is a music video serving the music. It feels like the music is serving the movie that we got here. That is wild. Oh. Wow. Okay, so we start here. Beautiful shot. I love the contrast here with the crazy cloud and this smoke in the background, not cloud, sorry. But the smoke in the background contrasts so beautifully with his with this really stark dark outline. And this was clearly added in post. You can see a little bit of, it not looking completely real. But Doesn't matter. It's to great effect. And then the dead bodies just lying everywhere. A lot of smoke here. But what's so beautiful about this segment, and I'm gonna play it again, and just keep in mind that there's a camera person here who's wearing a Steadicam, which is a very heavy device, which has got this, 10 kilo, 20-pound camera rig attached to it, so that you have to be really good at balancing with the Steadicam. And this person is probably also crouching, unless they sort of built this structure here. I don't think so, but I think this person must also have been crouching and is walking with the soldier and then walks with him and then all the way, and it just keeps on going. But just keep in mind, like, there's a person there who also has at least one person holding on to them so that they don't, trip or stumble or, otherwise crash and fall, so that they can purely focus on operating the camera and the Steadicam to track this guy, right? So keep that in mind. And there's no cuts, so this is all just one shot. And then we see all of these guys in the background. All of this has been choreographed so carefully, and then we turn around, these guys run into frame. Then we follow this guy, beautiful timing. We go in, it's really dark, but then we turn and we find this beautiful spot with more light again. Again, beautiful choreography, great timing. Must have taken them quite a bit of time to time this all out so perfectly. And then these flashes are also special effects. And then we have this blood here on the walls that he was hiding before, so they must have put that there. And then the explosion. Like, what a beautiful composition. The amount of time that they must have spent practicing this over and over to make sure that they're getting each element of this timing right. It's really, really hard. So that just goes to show they're really putting in a lot of effort into making these videos. It's truly mind-blowing. It's reminding me a little bit of some of the Rammstein videos, but that's maybe the closest to what I've seen before. And I know that those guys spent $6 million on shooting that film, or euros, music video. But we're really in film territory here, so this is so cool. I hope that it makes sense why I'm so excited. I hope I'm doing a good job explaining this, because it's really quite special, especially these really long tracking shots. It's hard. It's really hard. And so they don't do it often because you can't really cheat and fix things as much as you would like, fix it in post. These types of shots are a lot less forgiving. So you have to make sure that everything is in the right place at the right time. So, yeah. Still have 10 minutes to go. This is going to be such a long video. I hope your tea is still hot.
War is the way to unite people.
Learn to share again. Learn to share again their love, not share. To leap again. We have passed the moment of imagination. What did there peace? We have to stay. Time is up. It's time to save
Where are the kids?
the earth. Here is last chance. Can we balance all that to regret? Our future is impossible to see.
I mean, he is singing so beautifully, and it's very touching. I'm also now putting together that Dimash is playing one of the kids, right, as a grown-up. At least that's what I'm getting. Maybe I'm wrong, but please correct me if I am wrong, but I don't think so. And he's one of the soldiers who is fighting here, and I'm assuming that they're fighting these sort of Nazi-styled overlords. I was thinking that another video that reminds me a little bit of this would be Sabaton's Bismarck. Which is also, they're very war-inspired, and they also go to great lengths to really make cinematic, really beautiful videos. But this is like, even with the crashing helicopter, wow. Just great shots here, just everywhere. Very beautiful. If I had one point of critique, it would be that it's very dark. So sometimes it's a little bit hard to see if you're not on an OLED screen, I guess, which is a common critique for, for filmmakers, that a lot of movies are a little too dark nowadays for a lot of screens. And this is something that has come with digital cameras, and they're really able to shoot in very dark settings, whereas our screens tend not to be good enough to really display it, or properly anyway. So some of it is going a little bit lost in the darkness. But on the other hand, that way you can also hide some stuff, some imperfections and such. So it's always a little bit of a balance. But preferably, I would have liked to see a little bit more in some of these really dark spots, especially in this last sequence. But my goodness, the lengths that they're going to here is like, I absolutely love these shots. The lighting from below with this light box here is really great. Also where we opened this here. So cool. I love this really, this warehouse looks like it's infinite. Love these sort of industrial lights here. These windows, look at that. Really looking very cool. Love these shadows and lights here. Probably, I don't know what this is, but if it had been me, I would have asked them to move the car or the sign or whatever that it is, because it's slightly distracting. Nitpicky, but we try to be as directors, to make everything as pristine as it can be. And then, but obviously, and this is also something that is perspective, our eyes get led to this main subject here in the frame. So this sense of depth, as well as these guys being situated exactly in the middle, that's where our eye is drawn to immediately. Really, really, really beautiful. I love this light. They must have had a smoke machine in here to add even more atmosphere. So it looks really cool. We have all of these beautiful close-ups here of Dimash. Him sort of thinking about the necklace, and it's cutting back and forth to the woman with the child. I don't know if that's his kid in this story. It could be. Maybe he and the girl from the beach, they got a child together. Again, I'm not sure if that's the story, so correct me if I'm wrong. But or maybe that's revealed later. I don't know yet. So I'm quite curious to find out. And then more of this just beautiful, just astonishing action work here. Like, this is just insane. I've never seen crashing helicopters in a music video. Like, what is happening here? Is this like Saving Private Ryan? Mad. Oh, horrifying. The baby. Ugh, terrifying. that seems like a new chapter. Good moment to pause for a second because that was just so grim. All the people being taken from their houses. Wow. Don't have too much to say about that part. Really well done. Beautifully shot. I love kind of decaying buildings like this. Like, I don't know why these people are living in houses that are, looking this bad, but it's definitely very moody. This is such a beautiful shot where it's like tracking and zooming into the kid. Really sort of, and she's holding the toy like that. Heartbreaking. But again, beautiful perspective, beautiful lines everywhere. And that's something that I saw earlier that I really wanted to highlight here. So I love these warehouses that they're shooting at. So we again have these, obviously they've been running a smoke machine in here to make it more atmospheric. They're shooting from a low angle from this guy to get more of the ceiling here, but also to get to make him seem bigger and more intimidating, which is a common technique that we use to make them feel more threatening, right? Because if we shot from the top down, they would look small and kind of insignificant. So this guy is really just very creepy looking and just very threatening. But look at these beautiful light rays that are coming through these windows here. We have them here. Very serene, almost a little bit like a church, this space. Absolutely love these light rays. So I'm just going to play it and just look at the light rays and what they do and how they add to the atmosphere. And here, that just beautiful. And then we discover that Dimash is hiding there. Oh, very, very powerful. Love this as well. I mean, the sets that they build for this are so elaborate, and all of the stuff here on the ground, and wow. So yeah, then we head into this new far warmer tone chapter. So let's see. Goosebumps. Wow. That chanting, it felt like it was like from a mosque. Beautiful. I personally really love the sound of the call from the mosque. And then we have the Christians walking up the hill, and now we are in a Buddhist chant, and that's really powerful. Wow. Beautiful. And I love him. Dimash here, he is crying, but it's not just a cry. You can see him shake. It's a beautiful performance from him. Like, it's not just sometimes actors, they'll use one of these sticks and they'll put it underneath their eye. And it has they're usually like they're called cry sticks. And you can also use like a lip balm that has menthol in it, but it will make your eyes water. And then they'll do their performance, especially if they have to do take after take after take. It's hard to continuously like get to that place of emotion and get the tears going. But here, he may or may not have used a cry stick. However, you can really see him tremble and shake with seeing all of these people murdered in this hallway. So deep, so touching. As I said during watching, like I got goosebumps, especially with the chant and the unbelievable. That is something else. And then we have this beautiful setup. Like, I am curious if this was shot in Kazakhstan again. This is really warm. It's almost brown toned. So we're really immediately, like, as I said, it feels like a new chapter, and kind of it is, and in the song as well. And then we're taken into this desert space, and so it really is a little bit jarring. And I'm sure that they intended it to be that way, right? Because it feels, well, the song is called a requiem, right? So it's a call upon us as humans. Stunning. So I love this contrast of here, these people carrying the cross. And then I believe that this kid here, he must be reading a Quran. And then beautiful shot here. Again, very dark, very, very dark. But we have this beautiful light here from this window that really casts an almost halo-like glow on her head. And she's clearly a midwife to this woman here. And then here come the monks. Oh, and they may already have been with the group of people that were trudging up the hill. I'm just thinking. Maybe I saw them. Let me double check. This might be them? I don't know. They seem to have the same colorful thing here. Well, let's continue watching. Oh, didn't expect to be taken on such a roller coaster ride today. Love the slow motion. Oh, I saw the necklace. Oh no, the little girl. Just quickly to address what I said about the necklace. I was wrong. I thought I saw the guy bearing the cross. He was wearing the same necklace, but he wasn't. It had a cross. But the pregnant woman, though, she's wearing it. So I'm guessing that she is now. We're back in time a little bit where she's giving birth to the little girl that we just saw that was killed, I think. This is also touching, and him crying. Oh, beautiful. So powerful. All the religions together. Unreal. I knew it. I was already thinking this, that when I thought the guy with the cross was wearing that necklace, I was like, no, that makes no sense. I don't think that's him, because why otherwise would this symbol of this terrible organization be their symbol, right? So I was already thinking like, oh no, it's going to be the tyrant. And that was just revealed. Oh, terrifying. That is just heart-wrenching. Also, that is Dimash singing, right? My goodness, his voice goes high. And was the really, really low stuff? Was that him too? Please tell me in the comments because that's unreal. Beautiful. I love this shot. It's so beautifully lit here with just this light here. Very powerful with everything, you know, trashed and cracking around him and him cracking, right? Again, just such powerful shots of everyone here coming together. Love this too. It's just lit absolutely stunningly beautiful. Like, she is very clear here and she's dressed in white, and we do love a woman in white trope here. She's purity and innocence, and that's what we usually associate white with, especially if it's somewhat religiously toned, which this clearly is. And then they're burying. It's death and birth at the same time. It's just so powerful. Again, a little bit dark, these shots, but it's stunning, and I loved this close up here. And then that reveal of him being their third friend. That's so heartbreaking. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that almost makes me cry. My goodness, what a message. That is very powerful. I don't really get stirred to this extent quite so often. So, like, especially by music videos. So, oh, I need a minute. That was very powerful. My goodness. So, some final moments here. Of course, that moment that he shoots him, right? So powerful, and again, really beautiful here with that light box that they have here. Just really drives it home, and then he immediately gets shot too. Again, great effect here with the outline of him and the door that opens, and just beautiful lighting here with these spotlights from the guns, and then he's shot. And then what's so stunning here is that we immediately are bookended with the front, or sorry, the start, the opening shot. That is wonderful story writing for a video like this. And I've said it before, but it's really quite hard to tell a story effectively without any dialogue. Any story that is being conveyed to us through, dialogue in this. And I think they still manage it quite effectively. The only thing that I was a little bit uncertain about is who the baby is that's being born. I thought it was maybe Dimash's baby. But then I was maybe thinking maybe it was Dimash who ends up having a sort of prophecy-like role in this story, because he ends up being the one to kill the overlord, his friend, the Judas a little bit, if you will, because there's obviously a lot of religious links here. And then him also appearing at the very end, and he walks away. Just very powerful. And just overall, what a beautifully made video. So consistent, and just all the choices, so deliberate. Well done. I'm so curious, like, where this was shot, what their budget was, because this looks like a very expensive video. And also, the message at the end is like that, I don't know, that it always gives me hope when there's filmmakers and, it always gives me hope when there's musicians who really want to push a message of acceptance and love into the world. And that's, to me, is just so beautiful. And that to go with such a incredible video is just really powerful. So thank you for recommending that I should take a look at this, because I very much enjoyed this, and this was just unreal. Very, very, very exceptional. And I hope you enjoyed my little deconstruction of the video here. Whew. I mean, come join us in the comments. We'd love to have more of a conversation about this video. I think there's still a lot to be discussed. And just, let me know your thoughts about this. And if there was anything that, I missed, because I'm sure I did. Maybe there were things that you had missed before that maybe my analysis shed a little bit more light on. I also love hearing about that. And you can also join us on my Discord server, to which you can find the link in the comment section below, where we can dive even a little bit deeper. So subscribe if you haven't yet. I may do more Dimash in the future. I do a lot of different music genres here on the channel because I love just general creativity of people and the way that we express that through music and music videos specifically. Beautiful video, this one. So thank you for joining me. All my love to you. Have a great rest of your day. I hope I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Can't rebalance all that of your regret.